Assalamu everyone. مرحبا بكم مع Open Minds Project اليوم. I'm so excited to have our guests, Via, Mesa, and hopefully Mira will be able to join us. I'm so excited to be talking about this interesting topic, which will definitely be a valid conversation for quite some time in the future. So how to boost your English fluency, how to start having conversations in English, how to improve the way you write and have that English as a easy way to communicate, to find a job, to improve your profile, to enjoy movies and all those cool things that are definitely very important في العالم اللي نعيش فيه that is super open. As Tunisians نحن نتعلموا الفرنش في elementary, so it's we got that. We have it already, so we're not gonna compete. But right now, I feel like there is so many opportunities out there, and that speaking English is very, very valuable skill that will help everybody unlock so many opportunities. I'm gonna introduce Open Minds Project for the guests and and people for the first time they're joining us. So Open Minds Project is an initiative that I created this year to give back to the community in Tunis, to connect with the professionals, very bright professionals abroad as well as in Tunis. It is a way for people to volunteer, to work on their skills, to unlock opportunities, and also an opportunity for professionals to connect together and give back and have those meaningful conversations and career chats. And it doesn't matter what phase or what stage you are in your career, or it's just I felt that need, and from my personal experiences, it's just very, very different in a way when you connect with people intentionally. I know I have friends, I know I have my community, you see them and all that, but just to connect intentionally with people that you really share interest with them is a second level, like it's a different level. So as a founder of Open Minds Project, I want to talk about briefly what we do. We offer online learning through LinkedIn Learning to young adults اللي في تونس وإلا حتى مش في تونس, anyone who would like to have certain courses على LinkedIn Learning can reach out to us and we can unlock those classes for them. Of course, LinkedIn Learning, if you're not familiar with, it's a platform used to be called lynda.com. I'm a super fan of it 13 years ago, and that's how I'm so passionate about learning, and it was the thing that I loved. Every time I go apply for a job and they ask for a skill, I go to lynda.com, learn it the night before the interview, and just go and do that small project and then go talk about it as if I've been doing it for a while. So it's kind of, to me, it was very, very, very useful in my career to have that learning platform. Also, we do book swap events. We do have an exciting library, so many titles, they're all in English. So bummer, اللي ما يحبش يتعلم English, they're missing out. So the books are in Tunis already. So I'll definitely share on our Facebook and Instagram the next time we have those events. We welcome book donations anytime. They just have to be بالانجلي. So if you're done with some books and you're missing Tunis in the near future, we would love to connect and have those books dropped off and passed on to more people to read them. We also do career mentorship. And interesting story, me and Sahar connected recently, and she had an interview at Amazon, and she was asking me like, how, like, do you have any tips and stuff? And I said, okay, listen, I have a friend, she works at Amazon, I'll connect you. And it was like so smooth. This is exactly like, it was a perfect open minds, just value right there. You connect with people, you have a question, you have an insider. We are everywhere في العالم الكل وفي البig corporate والsmall corporate والstartup. So if you need anything, you need to connect with somebody and you want that insider tip, reach out, we'll make sure to connect you. Other than that, we're making friendship here. So it's just connecting with the right people at the right time of your career is what matters. I would love to have more experts on my boards of experts. I would love to have people connecting with each other and creating that meaningful career buddies. And sometimes just واحد يطلع لك المورال كمان هيك. Sometimes it's just nothing. I'll just listen to me talk about something. Anyways, that's briefly what Open Minds does. We are online on social media channels. We have a website, openmindsproject.org. So I'm so excited today. We're going to be talking about how to boost English. I don't think Mira was able to join. So Sahar, I'm gonna pass it to you and you can introduce our guests.
Yeah, thank you for this introduction, Yusra. I would like to thank our speakers for accepting our invitation. Our first speaker is VA. He's Insight alumni and also Thomas Jefferson alumni. Thomas Jefferson is a scholarship offered by the US government. VA has experience in working in multicultural environments in US, Canada, and now currently he's customer success manager in Paris for international startup. And our second speaker is Maïsa Jabri, and she's NC alumni. She worked for international company in the US, and also she has work experience in Canada, and currently she works as a product manager for international company in Luxembourg. So for our schedule, we would start with VA, as Mira unfortunately she couldn't join us. And then we will leverage the discussion with Maïsa, and we will have the Q&A session. Yeah.
Sure.
Great.
Sounds good. I think I'm gonna have to take it out. Well, welcome everyone. Happy to be here. Thank you, Yusra, for the introduction. That's very helpful. That's very enlightening. Kudos for all the work that you guys have been doing. Thank you, Sahar, for like coordinating everything. That was very smooth. And welcome for everyone. Honestly, I don't wanna like start saying do this and do that and watch this and watch that. That wasn't the way that I learned English. That is not going to be the way that I'm going to be keeping my English to a certain level. Some people might be in a different point of view, but that's how I think about learning English or about learning new languages in general. I'm just going to go ahead and tell a little bit about my story and pinpoint the places or the milestones that helped me speak English as I speak it today. I'm sure I'm not speaking English in the best way possible out there. English is always going to be my third language, but I'm trying to improve it every now and then with learning different stuff. So I started off as Insight engineer. So everything about pharmaceutical products, cosmetics products, and so on. And then my first introduction, I would say, or my first real introduction to English when I was supposed to go interview for the Thomas Jefferson Scholarship Program. Before that, I could still remember myself, to be honest, watching Nickelodeon, growing up with The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and all of those like Nickelodeon shows and Disney shows. But my very, very first real interaction was the Thomas Jefferson program. While trying to interview for that program, I made sure that I need to be a good listener, so that when I get asked questions, I'm very well aware of the meaning of the questions, what people are trying to intend, or what people are trying to say with those questions, or what they're trying to ask. So in doing that, I started giving my ear the habit of listening to specific or to different dialects, let's say, or to different accents, whether it's British, Australian, or US or Canadian, because those two things, they differ just a little bit. But yeah, I started off with listening to TED Talks. For those of you who are not familiar with TED Talks, they're Technology, Entertainment, and Design, TED. So I started listening to TED Talks, giving myself 30 minutes every day just to listen, not even talking, not even, sometimes the subject might be interesting, sometimes the subject might not be interesting, but I'm always challenging myself to listen to that and try to understand without even the subtitles. So even though I'm not understanding something, I'll try to mimic how it's written, or I'll try to spell it and look for it in the dictionary, or obviously Google, not just dictionary. But yeah, and I'll figure out what the context of that word, or what the context of that language, of that sentence would be. From that point, I always gave myself the habit, or introduced the habit to myself, to just stand, literally, might make me stupid, but looking in front of the mirror 10 minutes every single day, just watching how my lips move, just watching how my pronunciation is, and having those TED Talks running next to me or playing next to me, and then trying to mimic and trying to pronounce words, and trying to pronounce the T's and the A's and the S's and everything like that with the speakers as they speak. So that was that. To a certain point, I started feeling a little bit more comfortable. To be honest, this is not going to be a process, or for me, it was not a process of like just 2 days or 3 days. It was like a month-long process. It was a little bit hard. Sometimes I'm tired of work. Sometimes I'm tired of just listening. But as I said, I always wanted to go to the States, have international experience. So that was my motivation. So here I'm trying to make a quick tip, let's say, slide into the discussion, which is motivate yourself, whether with a job offer that you're trying to get, whether with it's an interview, whether just speaking English, but always have a specific level that you want to reach in order for you to attain that level, or to attain that goal that you're trying to go after. So that was that. After that, this is a very jokey anecdote, let's say. But when I was in the States, I was not only in the south of the US, specifically in Mississippi, but I was also in a community with African Americans. So I was the white guy in the US. Obviously, I'm not white, but I was in an African American community. So it was not only the accent of the South, but it was also a different kind of slang, a different kind of vocabulary used by African Americans in the South too. So people would, just knowing that I'm African, interested in football or soccer as they call it there, they would invite me to soccer games, and I would just say yes, okay, or anything like that. But the next day I would not show up, just because I didn't understand where the game is going to be, what time, because I was a little bit not within the same wavelength as them. But again, you will definitely feel sometimes that you're outside of the box, that you're not within what everyone is talking about, but always try to give yourself a break, let's say, because again, English might be your second or your third, maybe your fourth language. So always try to work with that. So I forced myself into connecting with my peers, and I was introduced to a specific kind of slang of English, but also studied in English for my very first time. So that was also my introduction to academic English and business administration, to be specific. And from that point, I got to travel. I got to go here and there, all over the place. So I also got to interact with like literally everyone, from bus drivers to metro drivers to Airbnbs to supermarkets. So that also that daily, let's say, those daily tasks that you give yourself to interact with those people is always gonna be helpful. And another tip would be specifically of pronunciation would be, if possible, try to immerse yourself among native speakers and partake in conversations with them. Because Sahar might be talking to me every day in English, right? But I might not be the best person to help her in English. I might know a lot, but I might pronounce some words in a very different way that Yusra does, or Kareem or Amira does. So always try to have that contact with native speakers, because obviously they're the native ones and they can help you the best. From that point, I transitioned to Canada, and that's where also got introduced to very also specific kind of English. I would say corporate kind of English, as I worked with different corporate companies, naming a few: Samsung, Google, Facebook, Airbnb, and so on. So, and also in the business setting. So we would talk about, return on investment and very specific kind of vocabulary. So another tip would be immerse yourself in specific settings. I would say Open Minds project would be a very good way to immerse yourself with Mesa, who's probably working in this project, or Sahar, who's probably working on other projects. So you would get both of those lives and both of those vocabulary. And that would be something that's going to be very helpful for you. In terms of grammar, in terms of writing, that was always something that I'm interested in. I was always someone who's a very good writer in English, but not a very good speaker in English. So I think I write better than I speak in English. Medium was a very good starting point for me. I started writing articles, sometimes in slang, sometimes in professional English, sometimes with very hard vocabulary. So I'm trying to look for synonyms in different words, or look for different expressions of different words, and so on. So always try to put things together, and that helped me grow my vocabulary. So I would say in this point, make sure you know your audience. That's going to be the number one, but also your vocabulary comes with practice. So your writing will come with practice, your grammar would come with practice. For the people living in Tunisia, Amadist was very good help for me, as I interacted with like-minded Tunisians, let's say, from 19 years old to 25 years old back in 2015. And I could hear this person speaking that language, speaking like that accent, another one pronouncing the T's in a different way. So always trying to get the best out of everyone. From that point, Canada got too cold for me, to be honest. So I was like, let me go down south, go to Europe. In Europe, I still do not speak any French, and my French is getting lost because I'm not practicing it. So always practice, practice, practice. Even if you're not, but when I say practice, not just listening, but also like speaking English or speaking French, because it's been literally 3 or 4 years I didn't speak any French, except school, obviously. But then now I'm not. It's not that I'm not able to speak French at like every 30 minutes, but it's always going to be harder for me to speak. Always going to be harder for me to speak French than to speak English. Yeah. So yeah, in my work now, we still speak, like the startup is international, so we speak Australian English, American, French English kind of thing, if that exists. But yeah, always try to get the best out of everyone. Try to practice. To be honest, don't be afraid of rejection. Don't be afraid of, some people might laugh at you, right? Sahara, some people might say, that's a very wrong way to speak, to say tea or to say water or to say anything else, right? You're supposed to say water and not water, right? So don't be afraid of that. Always try to prepare for everything, even if it's a small presentation. Never be shy of asking Yusra, who's very well better spoken English than probably you, for example. So try to ask questions, not to be shy, to tell her, hey, what did you mean when you said this word or that word? That's also going to boost your confidence and not let you down in different circumstances. And also, in your everyday, a good way to practice is that don't hesitate to throw in some English words. Just like every now and then, say cool, say okay, say I got you, say any specific word. And that will try to boost your confidence on a daily basis until you get into the momentum of speaking English every hour or every minute of every hour. I'm not really watching the time. I don't know how long was I speaking for. So you guys, yeah. So I think I'm good. Yeah. From that point, I would say I would not try to repeat all of the tips that I said, but feel free to watch. Friends is a very good show for me. I think Simpsons is for Yusra. I'm always watching Friends. I remember literally back in 2004, I was only 12 years old or 11 years old. And I had already watched all of the Friends shows. Obviously, I was not very good in English. I was reading the translations, but from my, like in my memory, I could hear the different personalities or different characters of Friends speaking things. And I literally remember crying my eyes out in 2004 for the last episode. So those are always going to be key moments. I think that was very cheesy for me to say that, but those are like, that was my reality back then, right? So yeah, always try to put yourself in circumstances, put yourself in situations that will get you outside of your comfort zone, so that you could speak English in the best way, better than yesterday and worse than tomorrow, hopefully. I think you, sir, you're on mute. Yeah, there you go.
Those are definitely great tips, and I tried to take some notes on the chat box. Very, very interesting experience and a path you took. So I definitely am very glad you shared all that. Totally agree with every single thing. And a funny thing that when I came to the States in 2008, my husband is a big Starbucks fan, and we would go 2 or 3 times a day. And he'll tell me to go ask for water, and I could not pronounce water. It was just that thing, water. What is it? Like. So embarrassing. It's just that pronouncing that water, like it took me months, and it's just that feeling embarrassed is going to happen. It's going to happen at work. It's going to happen when you write something, and when you speak. It's just going to happen. And I love how some politicians and I'm a big fan of the way Barack Obama talks and Trevor Noah. If you want to like listen to people who speak very clear, slow, and American English, I would definitely recommend Trevor Noah. He is funny. His English is very smart, but you will get used to that clear way of talking. And I think that it is overwhelming to learn English from anyone, because sometimes like people in the street or people you meet like for a short conversation, it will make you feel like, oh, I will never be able to understand what they're saying. But I feel like when you get used to TED Talks, the way they talk, like because they make effort to make sure that most of people they will understand that clear, concise English. I think those are great pointers. Yeah, I love them. I would just add with TED and Medium, and don't follow Donald Trump. You will not learn English. Totally do not listen to him talk. So like some public figures are really good at being very clear, and definitely I would recommend that.
I would say,
yeah.
just to interrupt you very like 1 minute, I would say the point that you made about Trevor Noah and generally political satire, like everyone in that business, let's say, Stephen Colbert, James Gordon, everyone else, always try to listen to those shows, because from one point you will learn English or you'll listen to English, but on the other hand, you'll be up to date to political environments and to information. So so that's very good. Thank you for pointing that out.
Sure. Back to you, Sahar.
Thank you, Bia, for all these tips. I don't know if Maisa is ready for. Are you here?
Can you?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
Can you hear me well? That's the second.
Yes.
Cool. Well, actually, yeah, if I can start. So I would like to thank you, Sahar, for this invitation, and everyone for this opportunity to talk and exchange and give back, because it's very important to give back. I'm so grateful to where I come from, and I'm always looking for opportunities to give back to this community today, to give back to this beautiful country. And I would like to thank Vie as well, because he took all the tips from me. I've been writing and keeping notes because I don't want to repeat myself or himself. So I wanted to go to take the same path as he did. So to just talk about myself and introduce myself, so you get to know me, and at the same time you get to know how I think I improved my English, but I'm still working on it. Of course, I'm not a native speaker, and I am always looking forward to ways to improve my English. So I'm a software engineer, but now I work as an IT product manager in a international environment, let's say, here in a corporate in Luxembourg. Actually I studied in public schools. I started learning English when I was 12 years old. And the thing is that I was not good in French, so I resorted to English to prove to my mother that I can learn a language. So I was jealous of the level of my sisters. So I just wanted to prove to my mother that I can be good in a language other than French, because my mother loved French. So I started learning English, public schools, the quality of public schools. But I was making a lot of effort to listen to English more often, to watch TV shows for kids. They were in internet, like international TVs. Okay, قناة 21, if some of you know it. And I used to try to practice to listen to songs and to try to talk, etc. So when I was 14 years old, I joined the Bourguiba Pioneer School. And in Tunisia, Pioneer Schools, they're famous for the quality of the teacher, let's say, or the skills of the teachers, especially in languages. So we had the opportunities to work a lot on projects in English, to have plays in English, to make presentations and act in English, to write articles and to publish in the journal of the school in English. So when I was 16 years old, my teacher picked me because I was always in any different play, in any different event, acting or talking or presenting in English. So my English teacher picked me to go to Liverpool So I went to Liverpool with a group of other students for 10 days. And that was actually the first time I was talking, or I was able or confronted with native speakers and the British accent, because it's much more difficult. They're so picky about their language. And we did not stay in London. We went to Liverpool, where people don't say chicken, but they say chicken. So it was even more difficult, and the challenge was actually double. So for the 3 first days, I was not able to talk at all. Apart from saying, hi, my name is Maisa, nice to meet you, nice to meet you too, that's it. I was unable to talk because I was kind of embarrassed or kind of alarmed. I was feeling that my English is not good enough, even though I was picked by my English teacher. So that was a proof for me. After 3 days, you know, all the English that I've been learning, that I've been reading, that I've been trying to teach myself, it's like a baby talk came out. And it was talking about my religion, my culture, my school, what we do, my family, my sisters telling jokes. And they were people like were, wow, your English is amazing for a 3rd language. So then I thought that we shouldn't be embarrassed of our accent, of our level, because we're very good in English. I'm talking about Tunisians and North Africans in general. We're very good and fast learners when it comes to foreign languages, and we pick the accents very easily. I don't know, it's maybe about our dialects that are very difficult, you know, but we shouldn't be embarrassed. Our English is good enough. Once you have this boost of self-esteem, you can talk to others, and when you go to talk to others, you're already halfway through it. You're already talking, you're already expressing your ideas and thoughts in that language. Even if you make mistakes, it's okay. You make mistake, people will correct you. Next time you're gonna make it. You correct yourself because you remember it. The 3rd time, you're not gonna make it. So I spent that 10 days in Liverpool, went back to Tunisia, you know, Englishman in New York. I was like very happy with myself. I was very proud of my English. And I had this kind of jump in my self-esteem that I can learn and talk. So I started by making American friends. Next to Bourguiba Pioneer School, there was a church. It's very famous. It's the big church right in front of the embassy of France. And there used to be Christian, like let's say visitors from all around the world. And I made some friends from the US, and we used to write to each other. We used to email each other. We used to talk, to call. When they come in the summer, we meet, and I take them, I offer a tour. And this was actually going out of the comfort zone that Dia talked about, to actually be able to describe thoughts, ideas, places, people, facts to others in their language, where they're being like their native speakers, while you are just learning it as a 3rd language. Then I got my degree, like my high school degree, and I went to I went to college. So I went to 2 different universities. ESG, so High Institute of Management, and I majored in computer science for data management. Then I was in a group of, I had a friend of mine, he was very good, he had very good English, and we started a group of, let's say, a club to learn English. It's kind of a meetup, but we didn't know that we could call it a meetup then. We thought we invented something. So we used to gather in the university somewhere, or sometimes we used to go to a restaurant or to a cafe, and we used to. He used to actually organize and monitor the discussion in a specific way to actually ask very tricky questions to drive people to talk. And sometimes the question, they become personal and very, Tunisians, we are very emotional. They're like, who'd you rather do that, this or that? And people would go you see people, they're so shy at first, but then people will really go very far trying to express their ideas. So I spent we were in the same high school, we're in the same college for 3 years. And then I joined engineering school. and ANSI, École Nationale des Sciences Informatiques, National School of Computer Science. And the good thing is, like, you got to pick some fields, and I used to always pick the fields in English, because for me, learning English is part of my curriculum. So learning computer science and English for me go hand in hand. And actually, that was thanks to that I was accepted to finish my last year in Canada, in University of Waterloo. So the first interview was English writing and speaking skills, and then you are interviewed for your skills in computer science, unfortunately. But yes, that was the case. And thanks to years and years of practicing English, I was always able to pass the first test, which was the English test. So when I went to Canada, it was a different kind of English, utterly different from the British English. And the good thing is that I got to live there, so to interact with people with different accents, as Dia said, which is very different, because you talk to English speakers from Guatemala, from India, from China, from the United States, from Europe, the French English, if we may call it, but we may call it because it's very specific and unique, if I may say. And then you have to challenge yourself to actually get the word, whatever the pronunciation is, wrong or right. Because, for example, a word like schedule, it can be schedule in British English and schedule in English, in American English, but it can be something utterly different in Indian English, or someone is misreading it, for example. And the exercise of capturing all the developing this program in your mind that can depict, or that can detect actually the word correctly, even if it's not pronounced correctly, was a very difficult exercise. But you have to be aware, because you shouldn't start saying words, for example, in a wrong way, which happens here. For example, in Luxembourg, you have a lot of French mates, and they pronounce English in a very different way, and they're very proud of their way of pronouncing English. But at a certain point, you have to be careful, because you're gonna start pronouncing like them at a certain point. That's why it's a daily exercise of keeping up with the level that you actually aspire for yourself. After Canada, I went back to Tunisia. When I went back to Tunisia, I was I did not want, actually I was in research in University of Waterloo. I got master's, but then I said research is not the thing for me. I want to go back to industry. When I went back to Tunisia trying to figure out what to do with myself, I got this offer from a Tunisian subsidiary of an American company, which is, it was a startup then. It was Predictix. It's very famous, but then it became something else. Anyway, so I got this offer. For me, it's heaven on earth. Tunisian subsidiary, which means I get to stay in Tunisia more often, because I was not very fond of the idea of staying away for a long time from my family. And then at the same time, I get to be in an American mindset environment, which is actually my favorite, because it's efficient, it's very direct. I liked working with Americans and people who have American mindset. And at the same time, I get to go to the US and interact with people, English speakers from all around the globe. And so I was very happy. So I accepted the offer right away, and I worked there for 4 years. English was the day-to-day communication language. So working with Americans from Seattle, from Atlanta, from New York, from Texas. It's very, maybe they can relate to this. They have a very specific and unique accent. And at the same time, I had my project, or my client I was in charge of, British. So it was really, at the first days, I used to go home with my head, if I hear one more word in English. But then it became something natural that when I go out with my friends, they say that, oh my God, you speak a lot of English words, not like us, we speak French. And actually it's the case of all the Tunisians and North Africans, let's say. So then what I want to say is that in every opportunity, I was trying to find ways to learn English and not to stagnate. Because Practice makes perfect, that's true. But if you don't practice a foreign language, it dies. And that's the case of French, for me, for example. It's very difficult for me now to express myself and to write in French. It's a very difficult exercise, but in English, it comes naturally. Sometimes even I cannot find the word in Arabic. It comes in English at first, and then in Arabic, and then in French. So I spent 4 years working for this company, but then I said, okay, I want to look for something different for myself. So I came to Luxembourg to work as a project manager. And now I'm an IT product manager working in an international environment. The good thing about Luxembourg is that if you don't speak English, it's a big deal here, because here in Luxembourg, people speak like Luxembourgish, which is not spoken by by people apart from native or from locals, and French and English. But if you speak English, it's okay, because English is spoken in all places here. So people are interviewed on their English here in Luxembourg. Sometimes all the interviews are made in English. So English is a crucial thing to live and to stay to work here in Luxembourg, which was fine by me, because I was looking for that, because at the same time, the language brings somehow the mindset, and I was looking for an international mindset of working or of professionals rather than a French European local. So that's actually how I learned. For me, it was not something I said, okay, I have 1 year to learn English, for example, and I did it. It was something that I was passionate about, and I was always looking anywhere I go for any opportunity that allows me to improve my English. And I think that I still need to improve my English a lot. So what I can share with you as tips, if you would like to improve your English, because I think that there's always room for improvement. Even for Yusra, she has an excellent English, but there is always room for improvement. In writing, in reading, in comprehension, you can always learn new words. So for me, I think that I always recommend watching movies. Even to my sisters are very good in French. I'm so envious, but they always tell me, how can I improve my English to be like yours? I tell them, watch movies, but you shouldn't watch movies with subtitles. Your mind does not listen to the words. The easiest thing is to read the subtitles. So your mind is gonna actually trick you into reading the subtitles instead of starting or trying to mind the words, because it's more difficult to mind the words. You can do this experiment, for example, if you watch a Tunisian movie. You know how Tunisians, they like to whisper in the movie, they talk like that, etc. And the subtitles are generally in French. If you watch after like 10 minutes, you're gonna realize that you're reading the subtitles in French instead of listening to your own dialect, because it was a little bit difficult or challenging to hear the words because they're whispering. So if you would like to watch, not for fun, but to learn English, if you like to watch movies, the first thing to start with is to avoid movies with subtitles. You can rather watch movies with caption. I think this feature is in Netflix already. So you can listen to the word and see it written in English. This will help you catch up more vocabulary, but it's always better not to have even captions at all. I recommend a lot the classics in movies. If you want to improve your English, like BBC movies, TV shows, they're always based on their books. They're so proud of their inheritance of books and literature, and they have great writers. I love writing a little bit, but I love reading. So if you are bookish like myself, I strongly recommend the books for Jane Austen. She has very classic, very mild English. She describes in a very funny yet very deep way the emotions, people. This will help you even build imagination, which means this will help you express yourself in a better way in any language. The fact of imagining that you can describe persons by the way they talk, the way they act, the way they look at things, the way they eat. It's actually, reading in general is very helpful for people to be able to express themselves in a better way. But if you would like to be able to to express yourself better in English, I recommend Jane Austen. I also recommend Emily Brontë. She's a British writer. She has a very famous book, Wuthering Heights. It's one of my favorites at all. Always reading classics. I recommend, surprisingly, Russian writers, because in Russian literature, again, they describe feelings in a very tremendously expressive and explicit, yet very tacit way. So it's really amazing how they describe events and people, and reading this will help you do this in the future. You just need to practice and absorb, and one day it's gonna just pops out of your mouth. Also, I like when I'm traveling or when I'm home to listen to audiobooks. So let's say my favorite book is Persuasion of Jane Austen. I know it almost by heart because I read it a lot of times. I recommend that you listen to audio, because you know already the story. You're not interested in knowing the story. You're interested in learning new words or correcting how to pronounce words that you already know, for example. And debates in English, like the TEDx talks, a very good tip indeed. And the shows, for me, like you talked about Trevor Noah, that I adore. I love him so much. The guy is amazing, especially how he talks and the body language. It's very expressive. But take your passion. For example, you're passionate about art, you're passionate about science, computer science, biology, whatever the topic you're passionate about, and just try to learn about it in English. And that's it. The motivation is already there because you like the topic. So whether it's Jimmy Kimmel or Trevor Noah, whichever is your favorite, so just pick the passion that you have and just try to learn about that passion in English, so that you are winning in from both sides, let's say. I encourage a lot of people to go to meetups. For example, here in Luxembourg, in Europe, in the United States, I used to go to meetups a lot. But in Tunisia as well, we used to have meetups. And if you don't find meetups for people who would like to learn speaking English, well, start your own. You can just suggest. There are a lot of people who would like to learn. There are a lot of people who will be very happy to actually teach. And you can have your own meetup. You meet every once in a while to just talk and exchange about any topic that you can pick of your choice, just in English, so that you go out of your comfort zone, you learn, and you help others learn. So it's just amazing to do so. Now, I just wrote down two things, and I think I hope I'm not off time. So about conversations and writings, I strongly recommend that you don't be embarrassed or ashamed of your English. Your English is good. It's very good. It's not your native language. Okay, it's not your mother tongue. It's normal that you make mistakes, etc. So the first focus on your idea. So what is my idea and how to express it with the fewer words possible. Don't make long sentences, either when you're writing or when you're talking. Like, pick your idea, okay? Or no, not pick your idea. Pick your words to express your idea, okay? And then express your idea with specific, concise words. If you're talking, this is the best way, because you'll be able to express yourself without being very, hesitant, for example. And if you're writing, always start by writing short, expressive sentences, simple ones that express your idea. Then try to change the words with more, bookish words. For example, instead of saying happiness, you can say felicity, for example. And then you can start to merge words. And there you go, you have a very good writing that shows a certain level of English. And I strongly recommend this, especially in professional emails. Express your ideas first, then look at the words or look for a better level or something fancier. But first of all, focus on the ideas that you have. And the level and the accent, these are things that are going to come, or the efficiency and proficiency and accent, they're going to come by practicing. If you do the other tips of meetups, talking to people, getting out of comfort zone, traveling, of course, it's the best teacher if you can afford it. If you cannot, you still can do all these things while you are, for example, in Tunisia. I think that's all for me. I hope I did not take too long.
Yes, thank you, Maisa. Fantastic. Amazing tips to learn and to know how to improve your English. I really agree with your recommendation about the Russian writers. And I would like to add two tips to Maisa and the tips. One of them is when you speak, try to breathe and try not to rush into words when you speak. You're not in a hurry. There is no rush to speak and to explain, to express yourself in English. And also try to sing at karaoke. It's very simple. The embarrassing will go away once you start singing. And yeah, so I will let the word to Yusra.
Awesome, that's great. So many great tips. I think how I want to, we all want to speak English, but it's just once you understand what you're missing out, you're gonna have to start بشوية بشوية. It's not gonna be you're gonna be able to have a conversation for 3 minutes. It's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be hard at first, but you're gonna enjoy it. وكل وين تتعلم هكا الحاجة as a life tip هي monitor your progress. Once you see the progress اللي بتعمل فيه, it's gonna be super cool. You're like, oh wow, I was able to say, hey everyone, how are you doing? Just that kitchen chat. يعني كلي هكا وحدك مشيت, you met people and you said عسلامة شو أحوالك. So it's that once you're confident you say that, the other person will say, oh great, how about you? Oh wow, now I have to talk. So you're like, I'm good. Your first day you're gonna be able to talk about what you did for the weekend, but it's just that starting it, having that courage. I do remember that feeling. It's like so scary at some time to start. It's scary to start that conversation with someone confident, with someone who speaks the language. It's scary, it's embarrassing, you will feel shy, but you have to know that's the way. If you don't walk في الثنية هذيك, you're not going anywhere. You want to go the other way where you don't want to talk, you don't want to be embarrassed, you're going to stay there. It's just you're not going to learn unless you go through that tunnel, let's say, and they hold very rewarding. And like Sahar and Maisa said, you don't have to start reading books about history if you're not passionate about history. If you love like animals and documentaries, pick some documentaries. صحيح the BBC is so amazing. عندهم it's just so البرودكشن طيارة على الآخر. It's amazing, something you would enjoy because you enjoy the subject, you're passionate about it. You're just gonna بشوية acquire new vocabulary, will be more comfortable listening to English. So many great tips الحق. Short shows, even songs, when a big hit هكا أغنية طالعة بالكدا and everyone is like, you hear it so much في موزايك ولا you hear it radio معروف على الآخر. Stop and go check what are the words. What is it talking about? Just start with short things. Start with things that are easy for your brain to process versus direct. You want to go, oh, I'm going to learn English. I'm going to read a random book. Make it easy. Be aware you're going to be embarrassed. You're going to fail. You're not going to know the words. And don't start. One thing we do when we happen and متشجعين and we want to talk, we want to share everything in our brain, we start talking, say, you know, my English is not good, but I'll try to. Don't say that, because I did say it a lot of times. It's just, looking back now, I remember I was so self-conscious. My English مش طيارة, but I'm gonna try. But at the same time, the other person is not focused on the way you talk. They're focused on you as a person. They're focused on the idea you're gonna bring to the table. They're focused on what you have to offer. And when you grow and when you get to a point where you really be proud of yourself, my English my third language, and I am very very عملت في قلبي and I'm gonna learn it. I'm gonna try to speak fluent هكا and try to hide my accent. In a way, nobody here can. They love the way I talk مثلا, and they cannot guess what accent do I have. It's it's me. The way you're gonna talk, Mesa, your accent is perfect. It's just that's you. Once you're clear, you can توضح الايديا نتاعك توصلها للعبد الاخر. No, راهو العباد they don't ما همش مركزين على الكلمات. كان تغلط, don't go back to it. If you make a mistake, ما ترجعش تعمل عليها highlight. Just move on. Be open to the world. It's a way to unlock opportunities. It's the way to connect to people. Don't be too hard on yourself. I think yeah, as we talk, there were so many other tips. وكل واحد من الاكسبيرينس نتاعو كيما ذي معناها التراجي نتاعو دازو باش تعلمها in a way. ميسا التراجي نتاعها led her to with the passion, led her in a different direction. And I'm sure the guests اللي معانا if they can and would like to share some of their experience, I would love to hear their experience. But it's just, you gotta start, you're gonna be ready to fail or be embarrassed, or you're gonna enjoy every progress you make. Or the way you talk, it's gonna be you, and it's not gonna be like me or Sahar or Billy or X, or your English is gonna be معناها flavored بالpersonality نتاعك, flavored بالايديas نتاعك, بالbackground نتاعك وبالاكسبيرينس نتاعك. So do not try to compare. حتى native, even native, sometimes I feel like I write better than people اللي تقراو لهنا وتعلموا لهنا it's just, it's you. It's gonna, there is always that room of 10% that could be better. 10% could be better. From my personal experience, I started writing SNET. I never have the courage to write to publish. I'm on Medium, and I think I have like 9 or 10 articles اللي نحكي عليهم اللي أنا passionate about. And you can start now. Just واحد يبدأ, and it's gonna be your own experience.
Yeah.
You know, if I can just jump back for a couple minutes, you know, what's a very good exercise to first intentionally meet people that share the same objective as you, but also learn English. And I was always a strong believer or firm believer of literally throwing people into the room, let's say, and then trying to guide them as we go. I was in a very good experience of debating championship back in the international. Back in Tunis, National Institute of Applied Sciences and Technology. That debating championship, we started off with like, I implemented the English program. It was only with French and Arabic, just because I wanted. And when I think Maisa said, if you don't have meetups, then go ahead and create your own. One of the things that I tried to do is created my own, or like under my initiative, English debating program that let us, with a strong team, we would like meet in coffee shops after working hours or after university hours, just to talk about Islam, talk about Christianity, talk about France, Tunisia, India, like literally any subject that we can think of, and try to debate about it. That led us to winning the regionals in Tunis, winning the nationals, winning the African and Middle Eastern, and then getting placed third, or getting the third trophy in the International Debating Championship, all within 5 months' time. So always try to push yourself, as Maisa shared, Yusra and Sahar. If you don't have the opportunity, create it for yourself. I never imagined that I would go to international competition in debating. I never imagined I would win it, or I would be third, or I would win the nationals in Tunis, but yet it happened. So everything is a learning experience. Everything is riding a wave, as I say. There's always going to be ups and downs. So get the best out of it. Yeah.
Awesome. I never heard of that. It's super cool. But
Thanks.
just big. It's so awesome. We need to get together more. We need to start talking more. Just
Yeah.
ideas will
Sure.
يجي when other people will be able to
Can I have word?
yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, I wanna say I'm very glad to have this opportunity to join this conversation. Sam, the ISA, and you and Sahar and Maisa. We need to learn about our experience and hearing the experience of others, because nothing come easy. And when I start learning the English, I had a lot of obstacle. I have a lot of problems about the pronunciation. Even the people they was laughing to me, but I'm going ahead. I don't mind even my pronunciation. How I know my pronunciation is right or wrong? I need to make wrong things to keep doing, and understand my faults. And I was hate the English, by the way. I'm not very good speaker in English, by the way, but little bit more, because I terminate my education in Tunisia. Then since 2012 I came to UAE for to start my professional career. Then when I came here, I find a lot of different countries people, a lot of students, a lot of languages, a lot of cultures. Then I start little bit to do this discussion with these people, try to make a new subject, to learn about them experience. We talk about anything, football, religions, anything. Then these things make our world rich, because when we meet someone, we never ask him where are you from, or which religion do you practice, or because you are black or white. It doesn't matter. Our world is great. We can live in the peace all. This is make the world rich when we learn about our experience and experience of others. Then I'm very happy to have this meeting with you and hearing about the experience of Dia and you and Sahar and Maisa. And I'm very very glad when I hear this experience of others. I say why I don't try to be like them actually, and try to say the words like what how you pronunciate.
Great.
I think that's I think that's everything we should take out of this meeting or of this webinar. All of that enthusiasm and all of that putting yourself out there and all of that positive energy. Thank you so much, Kareem, for sharing that.
Thank you. I'm really glad to have this opportunity to join this conversation. Really, because even me, Sam, I hear you before. You forgot your French, right? Even me when I came here, because the our second language, all is the French. When I came here, I forgot. Sometimes I want to say some word with the French, I find in English. Then I translate in my mind. Some words is come same definite same like action like this. So I was very very I don't know how to say it. I had a lot of problem. Then we need to practice, we need to say the words. Even you was wrong, say it, go ahead, don't mind even the people they was laughing to you, because nobody care. You have a subject to talk, and you have things to do. This is even in the work, in the coffee shop, when you go to supermarket, you will find different people with different culture, with different country. We are not, and everyone, I had a lot of interviews with HR. They are from India. I had a lot of problems with this accent, Indian accent, but I keep in my mind this is the accent from different way people they talking, but we can understand each other. I am very good listening. I am little bit speak, but this is we learn little bit, step by step.
This is awesome. And Kareem, your English
You're
is
amazing.
very clear, very clear. That's the point. When you start, don't be too hard on yourself. You want to be like this person or that person. Is very inspiring, but keep in mind, the more you practice, the more you get there. And I'm very passionate about the growth mindset in life in general. I always use when I go as a speaker for the growth mindset, I always bring the example نتاع حمادي or the person اللي في الجيم يبدا very muscled هكا وانتي تدخل هكا you always هكا feel اوه صح عليه معناها he's so strong and he can lift all these things he's so comfortable هكا في الجيم he knows all the equipment but then you have to stop how many years he has been practicing probably 15 20 years he got there slowly with practicing consistency it goes for everything. Like that person that you admire right now, their English is perfect, it's clear, you can understand it, you wish you were there. You will get there slowly with practice, consistency, look for opportunities and keep at it. Monitor the progress. The more you see progress in yourself, today you're shy, tomorrow you talk with HR, the next day you write an article, just you monitor your progress, you will be amazed, هكا so proud, the more you do, هكا تتشجع, you feel like you will get there, you will look back, ديما you will look back, والله the first day جيت أنا نعرفش ننطق الكلمة هذيك, it was so struggling and embarrassing, but now ما عادش حتى تحسها معناها, it's not even a thing. So thank you so much for sharing your experience. Your English is great.
Thank you, and I'm totally agree because you say something like I lived before, the same things, the same feeling I felt is the same. So I'm totally agree with you.
Awesome.
And thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I'm so glad to have more people joining this conversation. Anyone else would like to add anything or share?
Yeah, I would like to add some tips. First, thank you, Karin, for sharing your personal experience with us. It's amazing. It's really like the real example of how to practice your English and to overcome your fear, and then to go step by step in order to become more fluent and to speak with people easily. I would like to add like tips for, as Maisa mentioned, to go for a meetup. Currently with the COVID, like we can't, maybe like it's not easy to meet with people physically. So you can jump on a webinar online like this webinar and jump and say hi, and you can express yourself in English and without any feeling of embarrassing. So yeah, so that's it's a tip that can help you. And also there is a tip very helpful to practice in front of mirror. Like just imagine yourself, you are delivering speech for 1,000 people, and then practice in front of the mirror. It's very helpful to get that, to avoid that frustration, and to practice more and more. And my final tip, it was I forgot my final tip. So the first one, yeah, so I would also recommend political TV show, and also such as House of Cards and Suits, that are very, like, comparing to other TV shows, it's very eloquent English that you can find, and you learn more and more English words.
Awesome. If you have kids, watch with them Peppa Pig. That's like, I found the British TV shows are so cool. I have
yeah. I remember my tips.
Yeah,
so for my final tip is you can put like a plan with a friend or like one from your family, and to practice live discussion, or even like writing, and then that's like it will be a motivation that will create motivation for yourself, in order to not go for the first day, okay, I will put some podcast, and then I will read some books the third day, and then the fifth day you are like watching Mosaic, or I don't know, something else, then focusing on your goal.
Awesome. This is really great. My husband was so annoying when I first came to the US. He's like, this is your French, you're not gonna use it.
Yeah.
He gets so frustrated when I try نتكلم بالفرنسي حتى. That's how that was the habit. So just that shift, it was I was pushed kind of thing. Okay, now you have to watch this TV. وشد الكارنيه وقيد معناها كلمة جديدة ذي كلها ما نعرفش. I'll write it so that way نعرفها معناها كيفاش تتكتب وحتى ما نعرفش ننطقها بالكدا. It will تبقى لك في مخك وتتفرج في التي في شوز القصار ولا سونغ هكا وتسمعها بالكدا وتراها كيفاش مكتوبة وشنو ما ليركس واحد. Start بشوية بشوية والأدب. What is amazing about the humans بارابور الانيمالز اللي نحنا we نبلديو على النولج نتاعنا معناها what you have today it's gonna the more you add معناها it's add up versus بالاكسبيرينس الانيمالز ما يتعلموش I don't know how to explain it بالعربي but it's more like they don't have cumulative knowledge.
Yes, incrementally. Increment, yes.
So ديما you're gonna add الكلمات الجديدة اللي باش تعملها راهي باش تزيد 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 you get to a point you don't even معناها realize قداش تعرف وكيفاش تعرف.
Also, you can use like a small book, a kunsh كابني سافرون, like, and you can write like some memorable words that you will not forget. And I would highlight like reading the lyrics, like any music lyrics. It's the simple, easy way, and you can start by like really good music, and I don't know, from rock and roll you can find very good lyrics, and then not the kind of pop song Britney Spears, no, but yeah, other it's very helpful and easy. I would like to say hi to Emina. She joined us. Yeah, she just joined us.
Aslema, everyone who just joined. Anyone else would like to add anything? We would love to hear your experience. If you have any other tips, I know اللي ساكنين معناها ويبدا واحد هكا he's living in Tunis ولا يستدي الكله بالفرنش. I know it's a little hard, but you gave tips of start your own if you don't have that. TV shows also, just being open to learning that new language and having that motivation. The motivation goal اللي هو different من learning English. مثلا أنا نحب في تونس باش نكمل القراية على قريب ونحب نمشي look for opportunities في لوكسمبورغ ولا في كندا ولا في US وإلا حتى program تاع exchange programs. They all require that you talk English and you speak English and you write معناها some certain level. So just knowing that اللي راهو that door is shut unless you start today, unless you start بشوية بشوية تحسن في الإنجليزي نتاعك. It's not going to be open. It's basically there is a whole path نتاع opportunities ولا a whole door هكا imagine it في مخك it's shut. مسكر you cannot get in there. Imagine how many things you're missing out. So it's probably learning the English is not the final goal. هو ماهوش the main motivation, even though it could be. But just having that in the back of your mind, you cannot go places where you're not going to unlock those opportunities out there unless you learn level up. نعرفوا نحن الفوكابولاري وكلنا نقراوه في السكول كله it's there, but it's just you have to push yourself a little bit to start talking to people, joining webinars كما قالت سحر. And if anyone else have any ideas of webinars for the future you think it would be beneficial to run them or anything like that, please reach out. We always like, that's what we do. We want to connect to people, we want to give back, we want to share the knowledge, and we want people to have that space باش يتكلموا, have their voice heard, and just practice being with professional people كيفاش يحكيوا and all that. I think it's a great way for everyone to lead the way. You cannot say أنا ما نعرفش وما عنديش وما فماش معناها الأيامات متاع الكوبلينات وتمشي تدفع 2000. It's not the case right now. It feels like everyone is aligned, everyone is connected. الناس كلها عندها كمبيوترات. So less and less excuses to العباد الكل. I want to see if anyone else would like to speak from the people اللي معنا.
Yeah.
Hey,
Question.
Hey, Yusra, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, I can.
Excellent, excellent. This is Sonia speaking. Just to give you guys a little bit of background, thank you guys for organizing this. It's an amazing session. I really appreciate those tips and recommendations and on how to learn English, and I really appreciate seeing you guys representing well Tunisia. Sonia Hamzawi. I lived in Tunisia, but I was raised in Saudi Arabia. I was taught in American schools. And then right now I represent Zoom, by the way, because I'm I'm handling their Middle East market, and I'm super glad that you guys are using Zoom, which is really great. Thank you so much, Yusra, for choosing this platform. So my boyfriend and I, we were like just following you guys and following those tips, and really appreciate everyone's experience and background. And my boyfriend just wanted to share with you maybe a couple of tips and recommendations, just to give you a little background. He's from India himself, so I'll let him introduce himself if you guys don't mind for a couple of minutes.
For sure.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, guys.
Hello, everyone. So I was just passing by, and Sonia just pulled me into this meeting. So I would say Aslema, just to show a kind of connection to Tunisians. So basically, I'm from India. I did most of my studies in India. And then even though we start learning English at a young age, but I never practiced or never spoke to anyone in English in India. It's only when I started working for a multinational company where I had to talk to clients, then I really need to speak with them in English. So that's the only time when I really started speaking English. But then since in India, most of the languages have strong, thick accent, or they are they play with your tongue so much that we all have thick accents. So I had an influence that I used to speak English really fast. And that's why when I joined the multinational company, they would tell me that you need to speak really slow so that people can understand. And at some point I came for masters to France. And hi, everyone.
Hello.
So I came to France to do my masters, and it was in English. So I came here, and then I realized one thing, that which I would like to give as an advice to everyone. So first, before learning a language, you need to understand the intention of a language. Why we are learning a language? The intention of the language is for a communication. So if one person is talking something, the second person or
I think we lost you for a second.
Yeah.
Let me see. We lost you.
He's on mute, I guess.
Is he? Let me see.
Yeah, you are in mute. Can you send him?
Oh yeah, let me unmute her. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was just saying that before learning a language, you need to understand why you are learning a language, and the intention is to communicate. That's why we all started speaking different languages. So if I'm saying something, then the second person or to a group of people, they should understand what I'm trying to say. So when I came to France, then I started interacting with different nationalities. In my class, there were around 13 nationalities from across Europe, Africa, US, and I was interacting with everyone. So what I realized is that when in life, when you go outside Tunisia or any other country, you would always meet people who speak English and it's not their native language. So that means everyone has gone through this phase of learning this second or third language as English, and then practicing on that, getting experience, facing all the challenges in their life, maybe stress, maybe the accent, everything. And they reach a certain point. So first thing which I would tell everyone is start fighting or get rid of that fear of how or like what people might think when you say English. So first of all, you need to understand it's not your native language. So you can make mistakes, right? But at some point, you can reach a point where you will reach, like, so there is a saying, we say, Rome was not built in a day. So it takes a certain amount of time for you to reach a stage. So you don't need to be afraid. You need to be free and express. That's more important. So as long as the other person can understand, that's fine. So when I was I was among these 13 nationalities, I used to hear from my friends from Germany, from Italy, that they can understand me much better than a US colleague or US friend. So I used to take that as a big motivation that it doesn't matter as a beginning stage, that if you don't have the right accent at that stage, it's still fine as long as you can communicate. But then with time, for me, all this accent, uh, uh, like, yeah, you need to improve your vocabulary and all these things, they are like luxury. So the first thing is to set up your base in the sense that, yeah, increase your vocabularies, improve your grammar. But in the beginning, you might face challenges on those things when you speak. You might be good at writing, like one of the presenter mentioned that he is really strong at writing, whereas speaking might be not as good as writing.
Right.
So you could be in that situation, but that's fine, totally fine. But just give some time. At some point, you will reach a stage where your your language, the speaking ability might improve. So first thing is important is that just get rid of the fear in talking to people. Just try to talk, immerse yourself into listening to different accent. So you need to listen a lot. Try to, maybe you like music, maybe you like movies, series, whatever it is, or get immersed into it and try to listen to different ways people talk English, so that you are used to that, and that can also really help you in improving your because unless you don't listen, how can you respond back? And so first thing I would say, get rid of fear, listen to English, uh, try to use different sources, YouTube, movies and all, and feel free to talk and just give some time. You will reach a point where you will feel very confident of where you have where you have reached. So yeah, I would say that's all. And I hope I was able to give some good tips to you guys, and best of luck for your future.
Thank you. That's so, those are great tips, and thank you, Sonia, so much.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. happy to share with you. You don't want to see me right now because I'm like in a messy state. But honestly, guys, thank you so much for arranging this, specifically Yusra. I'm a big fan of you. The way I knew you is through Sumo. The person, like Tunisian, she was working in Microsoft back in the US, if I'm not mistaken. And I added you, and I was super fond of your Insta stories and how you're sharing your life and your kids. And I wanted to follow whatever you're doing in Tunisia, and an Open Minds project. I wanted to join today's session, and it's really great initiative. Thank you so much, Yusuf, for arranging it. Appreciate it.
Awesome. I would like to thank Bilye, Maisa, Sahar and Malek, who Sahar and Malek are both the volunteers who drove the whole thing and led the whole thing. وملاك عملت لنا designs and all that. Sahar she had a very, very good campaign من الأول للآخر, so I was trying to keep up with her. So it's I'm so glad we all get to meet. We shared all those tips. I feel like we're not gonna stop here. We're gonna have more events. I'm gonna rely on all of you to share the Open Minds project, and please be our guest anytime. Sonia, we're gonna have you share your experience. I just knew today اللي هي تخدم في أمستردام she works at Zoom. So
yeah.
we'll definitely would love to hear your story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Pick up some time to chat to get to know what's going on. It's so exciting. كل واحد عنده their own world, going through different challenges. It's just
absolutely.
Yeah, but we're all like we have to be connected. Sometimes I look back and my friends اللي عرفتهم قبل في تونس وإلا my connections are so old. when you get together, you get nothing really to talk about. But when you're intentional, هكا, you want to meet people really في السtage متاعك هكا, they want to give back, they have interesting stories, they want places, they want back to Tunis, so they're just going through life with a different path. But it's so exciting to me. I would love to connect with as many Tunisians as I can. I want open minds to be that space. Really, you have an idea, let's do it. Let's get together. Let's set up a meeting ونجي ونحكي. I want to give the mic to Leah and Mesa if you have final anything to share. Well, then yeah, we'll save this recording on YouTube and share the link.
Yeah, I can't say much other than thank you everyone, from Kareem, from Sonia, from Sahara, from everyone else who joined this meeting. I'm so thankful to be one of you guys. I'm so looking forward to talking to each one of you on the side. I know Sahara and I have to meet up sometime soon because we live close. With everyone, super excited to talk to you, whether it's face-to-face or through webinars. And good job for Open Minds project. I'm definitely going to be hooking up to that.
Awesome. Back to you, Mesa.
Yeah. So can you guys hear me well?
Yes.
So actually, I would like to thank you, all of you, but especially Sahar. She's a good friend of mine, and I'm so glad to be participating to this with her. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to, as I told you, to give back. I'm so eager to give it back to this, to my community, to my country, to all the open minds and those who would like to bloom and open Tunisians all around the globe. I'm so happy to be here tonight, and I'm looking forward to meeting you soon. And guys, Luxembourg is a small country, but it's a beautiful country, so I'd be very happy to give you a tour here. I've been trained in Tunisia, giving tours. So yeah, if you ever stop by Luxembourg, give me a call. I'll be very happy to show you around. It's very small. In 1 hour you're done, so yeah, it won't take long. And thank you all.
We'll have a private tourist guide.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
That's awesome. That's great. I'm totally so thankful for everyone who joined today. I'm taking rain checks now. I don't forget. If I'm in Luxembourg, I have a friend. If I'm in Amsterdam, I would love to meet you, Sonia. It's totally it's not gonna stop here. I'm gonna share my personal LinkedIn and Instagram.
Amazing.
Follow me, hit me on Instagram or LinkedIn or just
Amazing. And you guys too, if you need any help in any way possible, please feel free to reach out. We're Tunisians. We want to bond together. We want to stay together because, you know, we have that kind of mindset in the outside of Tunisia. When you meet a Tunisian, you will feel like, oh, why am I going to speak to that person? Like, he's just from Tunisia, right? and let's kind of break that rule and meet and see, and keep on doing what we're doing because we're successful and we're the pride of Tunisia.
Absolutely. Well, the generation اللي تخرج توا they have people to reach out to for help.
Exactly.
حتى resume review, master paper. But I've been doing a lot of in silo, but I feel like we all can do it. We all can lend a hand when we can. We all grow by lifting each other. I believe in that.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
Thank you very much. إن شاء الله عيدكم مبروك. We'll connect إن شاء الله next event. And
stay tuned.
Yeah, totally. I'm so glad to have Sahar. She's on fire. we're gonna have lots of other exciting events inshallah in the future. يلا ليلتكم زينة. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Look forward to connecting with every person inshallah. يلا bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Cheers.
Mubarak. Bye bye.
Mabrook.